So, just kind of start with how you became a Christian. Just,
Okay.
I guess the first time that came over, or the first time.
So when I was growing up, I did not see a Bible ever. We did not have any Bibles in the house, and nobody talked about God at all in my family, except for my grandmother. So my mom's mom, Baba's mother, she was a Christian. She believed in God. And so she briefly mentioned about God here and there. Like I remember when I would go to school to take an exam, or when I would go to musical school to have a big recital, she would always say, "Благослови Христос, благослови Христос," which means "May Christ bless you." So she was an influential person in my life as a child, just seeing her belief and also hearing her encouragement. But other than that, I did not hear anybody else who expressed their faith, because being a Christian was forbidden, and so people could be punished if they believed in God. And so even if many people did, people who were around me never expressed it. So I didn't hear it from anybody but my grandmother. And also my other grandmother, my dad's mother, also was a Christian. And also she, when I was a child, she bought me a little cross. And so she gave me this little cross when I was a little child. And it was her want to be able to tell me that God will be protecting me. And so my two grandmothers were the people who introduced me to God and told me about Christ. Not that they ever told me any stories, but just them telling me "Благослови Христос," and also just small things here and there is how I was introduced to God. Until the big thing happened when Gorbachev came to power, and glasnost and perestroika. Glasnost means freedom of speech, and perestroika, rebuilding of the country, started. And then when the Iron Curtain broke and the missionaries were allowed to come to the Soviet Union, that's when the missionaries came, who were from Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, like all these southern states, and they came to the Soviet Union, to the very northern part where I grew up and lived at the time, and they began to tell about Jesus and about what he had done for us. And that was the first time when I was actually seeing people who believed in God and who were telling us about the plan of salvation, about the baptism. And at first I was I didn't know for sure everything. I didn't know anything about it at all. And so I would go, since I was a student of English language at the time, when I heard that the missionaries came, I just wanted to go and practice my English skills. So I didn't want to be a Christian at the time yet, but I just wanted to go and practice my English. And so when I went and translated for the missionaries, I saw all those people who would come, Russian people, and they would line up in long lines, and they would put the name on the book that they want to study the Bible with missionaries. And so I would sit there and translate for those people, and for the missionaries, I would translate what the missionaries were teaching them about God and about the plan of salvation. And so I would sit and listen there for hours and hours and translate for hours and hours at a time. And that's how I learned about God's plan of salvation and wanted to become a Christian.